Welcome back, folks, to more Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. In our last part, we had our dual commentary with Kote's 1616 PB, and unfortunately it wasn't the most luckiest of episodes. We did have a couple things go wrong. For instance, let's see, Nidorino here got paralyzed. Eevee took some extra damage that I certainly didn't want him to take, and overall we screwed up quite a bit as far as not being able to catch Chinchou on the first lure ball, wasting an extra great ball trying to catch it, all that great stuff. So overall we kind of failed at a bunch of different parts there, but hopefully we can get back on track here, start doing some more productive stuff at least, and making our way hopefully towards beating the next gym and some other stuff before that as well. Nevertheless, we do have a couple healing items to make sure that even though we are paralyzed, and we are pretty low on health on everybody here, we are relatively safe, even though it looks like we're in a bit of a bind. We have 4 berries, we have the energy powder, like I said here, that heals 50, we have 6 super potions, so overall not too bad as far as our resources are concerned. Nevertheless, I do want to make sure that our guys get to train up a bit here, and I definitely don't want Eevee sitting in the front of the party right now, at least where he's at, but I do need to train him up. So let me just check where he's at as far as experience is concerned. And if you guys will recall, there's a couple trainers that we avoided early on in this playthrough, and so I'm going to go back and try and fight those guys for a little bit of extra experience along the way. We certainly want to gain a lot of experience on a couple of our guys here, and we have a bit of extra PP to do so. Therefore, I'm going to want to head back here and make our way towards all those extra trainers that we didn't fight beforehand. One thing that I also forgot to pick up while we were in Violet City last episode was this tree right here. If you cut it, now that we do have access to cut, you can slip through here, and there's a hidden item right here, which is a hyper potion, but apparently we don't have space for it, so I'm gonna have to see what we can do about that. Well, I could probably get rid of some of these apricorns in some way, and I'm gonna want to use this HP up on somebody, and I think I'm gonna use it on we're gonna want to use it on one of these 3 guys here, and I think I'm gonna put it on Nidoking, just because he's probably gonna be a little bit behind and everything, and so we'll pick up the hyper potion here. We probably won't be using it for a while because it heals so much, but having that extra security, and an extra healing item if we need it, is always nice to have. So anyways, we can also head back down here now, and I can't pick up that berry now, which because unfortunately we've already done so. However, we can now talk to that guy over there because we do have access to cut. Therefore, I'm going to be doing that now. So here, this guy gives you TM05, which is Roar, which isn't really as useful for us in a playthrough, but whatever, a TM is a TM, so I'll pick it up anyways. It doesn't take up slot in our inventory as it does in Gen 1, so that's perfectly fine with me, and I'll take it anyways. However, this trainer here, he's only got a couple low-level Pokemon, but any additional experience I can gain from these wild fights is probably better than most things I can fight in the wild anyways. And Eevee's got a couple uses of PP that need to start getting wasted here, and of course I missed right off the bat there, and take some extra damage that I shouldn't be taking. But that's the breaks of it, and we're gonna have to deal with that, so take down the Rattata, gain some experience. I think he has one more that's just like a level 9 or something like that. We'll see if I'm right here. It's level 8. It's close enough. Either way, Eevee should be easily able to take down this thing, and gain a decent chunk of experience there, so I'm very thankful for that, and it's very fortunate that we get to gain that extra experience, because any experience we gain here will certainly go work for us in the long run, because as I mentioned, in the long run, I will have to grind these guys up some way or another. I don't know exactly how I'm going to manage my PP in that sense, but if I can waste tackle PP in trying to kill these guys, I may as well do so. So, that's what we'll do here. And unfortunately, Eevee doesn't get the KO there, which is kind of sad, but that's just how it works out. The thing is, Eevee's not in a range where he can really utilize the Super Potion to its most effectiveness, so any additional damage he takes here doesn't really matter to me too much, because I am going to use a Super Potion on Eevee eventually. And I don't remember if I picked up the Super Potion that was here. Maybe I did in one of the earlier episodes, but I'm just going to check to be safe. Anyways, some wild fights, we just want to ignore those for now. And I think this guy we haven't fought either, so we'll certainly be fighting him. These Hoppips are interesting though, because I do want to make sure that we try and level on those a bit. I don't really need to split experience on those, so what the heck, we'll kill this one with a tackle. But like I said, Eevee has tons of PP that's going to be coming in soon. Therefore, I'm going to want to make the most of these tackles, gain that additional experience if I can, at least right now, and just proceed forward. I think this guy has a Nidoran, and as we saw before, Eevee may not be able to kill it in one hit. Maybe that was just minimum damage, so I am going to try it again. If Eevee does take some additional damage, that's not going to be too much of an issue, because if I can get down to 6 HP, I'd rather that happen and use the Super Potion to its completeness, or make sure that it's healing me exactly 50 HP rather than like 40 or 45 or something lower like that. It's just not a very effective use of RPP. As I mentioned before, there's a fisherman up here that has 5 Magikarps or whatever, but overall they don't really give you much experience in the long run of things, so it's just not worth it. I just realized that we also still have we're still lacking room in our inventory, so I'm going to deposit some of those apricorns right now. I don't want to do that. I want to switch over here. Like I said, we're going to deposit at least one of these apricorns to pick up that item that the girl has right there. Actually, better than that, I think we're going to deposit the Ice Berry, because I don't anticipate we're going to need it for a while. And if we do end up getting frozen by some stretch of the imagination, I have a full heal, or at least a couple full heals in my bag, so it's perfectly fine with me. Either way, on Fridays, if you come here, this girl gives you a Poison Barb, which powers up Poison-type moves. The only real person that can benefit from that right now is Nidoran, really. But nevertheless, experience is experience, and so I'll gladly take that. From this point, though, I think we want to take down this trainer. I don't think we fought him before. Oh, I guess we did. I guess we used Geodude because he had bird Pokemon, or flying type Pokemon, so that's perfectly fine. We'll proceed onward here. We have to make our return to what do you call it? Azalea Town down here, anyways, because we did leave an apricorn with Kurt, and I do have some other apricorns that I can turn in now, so I'll definitely want to be doing that. And there is an extra trainer down here that we can also fight in the process, so not an overall loss as far as the backpacking trip is concerned, but certainly something that we can benefit from. And I did not want to face Geodude first, so what the heck, we'll send out Sudowoodo, get him some action. And Geodude's Rock Throw missed there, which is great because it allows us to get a free hit off anyways. And Low Kick should be able to take out Geodude, which it does, so Sudowoodo is definitely doing some work. It does cut our use of experience here, but nevertheless, I'm not too worried about that. Anyways, we'll send Eevee back out, because overall, I do want Eevee to get the most experience here. Kote is going to be basically running things from here on out. Therefore, I certainly want to get him out there while I still can. And because of Melk's poison typing here, he resists Machop's stab fighting moves, and essentially is a lot more useful to us as far as matching up with Machop goes. Low Kick also missed there, so I guess that was a rare miss, but I'm definitely going to take it either way. Finish it off with Tackle. Actually, Poison Sting probably would have been a better choice there. Nevertheless, Melk is now at a point that he's dangerously close to over leveling where I don't want him to be, and so because of that, I'm kind of hesitant to train him too much more, especially if he gets to level 23. That's where we want to stop training him completely, and so not having him be able to participate in certain battles is going to restrict what we can do. Nevertheless, we can go back to Kurt here, and he says he's finished making our Pokeball here, and we get a fastball, which is great for catching either Pokemon that run away or Pokemon that have a speed stat higher than 100. Therefore, now that he's finished making these Pokeballs though, or that one Pokeball, we can turn in another Apricorn, and he can start making another one for us. So I can't remember what the red Apricorn gets us. I think it's a level ball, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you know exactly what it turns out to be, then just fill me in there. Nevertheless, we'll find out eventually. But basically, I want to make as many of those Pokeballs as I can because I do get the resources, so I may as well be able to do so. Unfortunately, one of the next things I want to be doing here, and I say unfortunately simply because it's not going to be the most interest to you guys, but it's something that is somewhat necessary, at least in my mind, is we want to be fighting a couple Hoppips here, yet again. The reason being is that Bellsprout, I'm going to be condemning it soon, and he does still have, what, 30 uses of cut here, and they're all going to one-shot these Hoppips, and so even though we're gaining very minimal experience here, I may as well use whatever I can out of this Bellsprout because I'm not going to be bringing it back, I'm not going to be using any items on it, so once it goes to the PC, that's the end of it, and we're going to have to teach cut to somebody else. So that's just the way things are working out here, and we're going to have to work around things like that. So, for now we'll just try to find these Hoppips. But, yeah, just, I was wondering what you guys thought of the dual commentary, if you enjoyed that, the dual narration, whatever you want to call it. If that was something you would like to see in the future, or if you wanted to see me do another similar part like that, just leave a comment if you enjoyed it, if you didn't like it, what you did like about it, what you didn't like about it. Just give me some feedback, because if it was enjoyable, I definitely want to try and include some more of those things for you guys if I can, because I found it was pretty fun. We got to share some laughs, share some stories about different things, so it definitely adds a bit to the commentary, at least in my opinion. So even though it wasn't as informative of an episode as I usually like to do, I feel like it was a little bit more laid back, and it allowed us to just kind of talk about whatever. So overall, I think it was pretty effective, but you guys can let me know. Just speak your piece. But yeah, basically the reason why I need to condemn Bellsprout is because I need at least one open slot in the party, and if I'm gonna be depositing someone, I want to deposit someone who's useless in order to take someone else out who I need to use. And as you can see there, Bellsprout leveled up, and I think Eevee's even close to leveling up here, which is great. The good thing is the encounter rate for Hoppips here is not too bad, and I certainly don't want to be fighting these Bellsprouts, as they're pretty powerful in terms of the fact that I can't send out Geodude, and I can't send out Sudowoodo against them because they're going to take a ton of damage, even from a level 7 Bellsprout. And as I say that there's an increased amount of Hoppips here, of course we run through like 10 battles of nothing. So anyways, back to Bellsprout here. We can keep cutting things. Maybe that'll be the title of this episode, just cutting for days, I don't know. Or the email episode, but that's kind of wrong, so maybe I won't do that. But you guys can get a little chuckle out of that. Hopefully Eevee can finally level up here, and we can start sharing the experience around. I certainly want to get all three of Nidorinos, Quilava, and Eevee leveled up here. At least, actually maybe not Nidorino, because he is level 22 now, and I definitely don't want him going over level 23. Or sorry, I don't want him to get to level 24. At least I want, if he does level up, I want him to stay at 23 for as long as possible. At least until I get one specific item for one particular reason. But I'll explain that when it gets there. Most of you probably know the reason why. But yeah. Oh shoot, I just ran from Wild Hoppip. Anyways, Eevee just leveled up, which I noticed, and one of the things that I want to check out here, I think we're at 0 Vine Whips. Yes, we are. So that's slightly unfortunate. The one downside to Bellsprout here is he levels at level 21, I think, and sadly enough, he learns Razor Leaf at level 37 or 39 or something ridiculous, and I don't understand that. And like, Wrap isn't that useful, and the only real great move he would have out of his arsenal right now is Sleep Powder. Being able to throw around that status is definitely beneficial, but overall I just think that we can get more out of our other Pokemon that we have in our party, or in our PC right now, and I want to be able to use those. Like, maybe not Scyther, but Chinchou especially, I'll need to be able to take out, and as well as Spearow to give us access to a flying type Pokemon, or something that can learn Fly. So that just basically gives you an idea of my thought process in all of this, if you guys are wondering. Either way, Eevee's getting a decent chunk of experience here, even though it's kind of minimal. Overall, it does add up, and any experience we can gain from this, considering Bellsprout's basically going to be condemned anyways, is overall a good thing in my opinion, because I'll have to use this PP up eventually. Eevee's not wasting anything in the process, and basically just getting extra levels, so can't really complain about it too much. Unfortunately, this it may not be as interesting for you guys, but in the long run, at least in my opinion, it is somewhat necessary, and definitely helps me in the long run for completing the game. Like, when you're playing with no Pokemarts and no Pokecenters, you're already restricting yourself enough, and to completely avoid grinding as well, I think would just put things over the top. Like, at least in Gen 1, it's not so bad, because considering I was using so few party members and so few different Pokemon, I could kind of get by without grinding, because most of my Pokemon were just getting so high up because they were the only ones competing in battle. Like Nidoking, for instance, basically dominated everything, and so he got all the experience, got all the levels, and he was in a position where even when he faced something that posed a threat to him, he was such a higher level that it didn't really matter. However, in this run, you tend to be underleveled when it comes to facing the gyms, when it comes to facing a lot of things, and therefore you have to be prepared, and you have to have a variety of party members, at least able to take down a bunch of different things. And so for that reason, all of my party members are necessary, and I need them to be at a decent level. So grinding essentially becomes the crux of this run. Without it, it's pretty much doomed to fail. If one of you guys wants to try this challenge and avoid this grinding, or to even try to avoid grinding before that first rival fight, you can go right ahead, because for me, if I didn't have that Bellsprout able to kill that rival, I definitely don't know what I would have done. I probably would have had to catch like a Ghastly and hope that he didn't water gun me and kill me, try to put it to sleep or something ridiculous. But I'd rather not rely on hacks to win, just because it's too inconsistent. And as you guys know, I love that word consistency. You know, I don't know how many times I've used it in this run already, but it's just a staple. I want to be able to show you guys a run that can, for the most part, work out like 9 times out of 10 or something like that. Like, I want something that's reliable for you guys, so that if you want to try something like this, you at least have an idea of how to go about things. And so that's basically my reasoning behind why I do certain things, and why I try to keep things consistent. And some of you guys are probably saying, like, why are you killing Hoppips? Because there's probably some other thing you could kill here that you'd do perfectly fine with. But the thing is, with Bellsprout only at 5 HP, he's gonna die in 5 hits, even if something's only doing 1 damage to me. It's not like Bellsprout's gonna gain a level between now and when he dies. Or maybe he is. I guess he's kind of close there. But the thing is, 5 Pokemon would not compare to the amount I'm gaining from these Hoppips overall. And I certainly wouldn't get through the being able to use all 30 cuts at all. So that's basically the reason why. I don't know if I'll be able to use Wrap to kill this thing. Maybe I will, because Bellsprout is a decent level. Hoppip doesn't have the greatest defense, so maybe we can kill it with Wrap if we're lucky. Have to see. I almost switched out with a Ekans staring down me there. That definitely wouldn't have been good, because probably would have wrapped, probably would have trapped me, and all that horrible stuff that we don't like in this type of run. So good thing for you guys, the grinding here, at least as far as Bellsprout is concerned, should be almost up, at least from using Cut is concerned. And hopefully Wrap can also be as effective, and I can use that. I think for this episode I'm going to make it a little bit longer for you guys, just to get all the grinding into this, or for this section, into one part, for the most part. And then from there we'll see how things go. The next rival fight is basically my biggest concern at this point. I'm not fearing the gym too much, and I'm not fearing the Kimono Girls as much, simply because they aren't as threatening as they may seem. And for that reason, what I'm going to try and do, if I can, is finish up the grinding here and at least fight some of the Kimono Girls. They aren't too tough to deal with, and I feel like I have at least a couple Pokemon that should be able to deal with them rather nicely. So that's what I'm going to try and do. And if I can fit that all into less than 30 minutes, that's what I'll aim for. At the moment it looks like we're at about 21 minutes, so it is already a pretty long episode, but nothing more than you guys are already used to based on the length of previous parts. So hopefully I can try and get the grinding finished here, and maybe something else. So it looks like Wrap may not cut it, and it's probably going to be a 2-hit KO, and of course it's going to be a 3-hit KO if it wants to miss and something wants to use Synthesis here. Anyways, Bellsprout's learning Stun Spore here, and because I'm going to condemn it to death, it's just I don't need Stun Spore. It's not worth it at this point. I hate Synthesis on these guys. It's such a pain, because the thing is, Wrap's accuracy sucks, and they're going to probably get at least 1 Synthesis in and require me to use 3 or more Wraps as in total, so it kind of sucks for me. I guess Poison Powder would have also been nice to have at this point, but that's how it worked out, and unfortunately we're going to have to deal with it regardless. So I think the past like 10 minutes of this episode has been in speed up, so hopefully you guys enjoy the sound of that. It can tend to get annoying, so I think for this episode I'll probably turn it back, and you guys will have probably already noticed that, at least by this point in the video, if I just have decided to do that. But anyways, Bellsprout's almost out of PP here. He's got 5 more Wraps, and I already wasted 3 or 4 of them on that battle alone because half of them missed, so that was pretty solid effort there by Bellsprout. Anyways, Bellsprout's almost pulled his weight here. He's got probably 1 more battle, maybe 2 if I get a crit, and from that point on we'll start heading back to Ecruteak City. So there we go. Bellsprout basically only has 1 Wrap left. It's not going to be as... I don't think it's going to get the job done here. And so we'll just start heading back to Ecruteak City. So that didn't take too long, and I think I do still have a little bit of time left, so we're going to try and get at least 1 fight with one of the Kimono Girls in, if I can, and proceed from there. And let me just check. Makar is kind of doing okay on HP, but I'm not sure how safe I feel with where he's at, and so what do we want to do here? Actually, Mel can probably take on these guys, so that's what I'm going to do here. These guys have a Jigglypuff and something else, but double kick should deal with them nicely. And here I go, I talk about not throwing too much experience onto Malk there, but there I go, giving him some more. Either way, dodge that guy, and I definitely want to wait and save that guy for at least a little bit longer. There's one person in particular who, or one point I want to get to in particular that should save us. I think this girl is the one we want to fight with Malk though, and hopefully I'm right. And I'm not, so that kind of sucks. I definitely wasn't expecting to be facing Vaporeon, so good thing for us she wants to use Tackle, and hopefully she sticks with Tackle, and I get a crit, so that's perfect. Malk unfortunately grows to level 23, and so, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that to be... I didn't think that was going to be Vaporeon. Anyways, I think this one's an Espeon, and I think this is Jolteon or Flareon. If that's the case, I definitely want to send out Makar to one of those two. So we're going to send out Makar to this girl. Hopefully it is... okay, it is a Flareon. That's perfectly fine with us. We'll deal with that. Makar can handle that very nicely with Rock Throw or Magnitude. I'm going to go with Rock Throw and hope I hit. She does use Sand Attack and it fails, so that's perfectly fine. And Rock Throw should be able to one-hit KO because the evolutions all have relatively low defense. So overall, you want to try and use physical moves on them if you can. Makar wants to learn Self-Destruct, and that would be a fantastic move in this playthrough, don't you guys think? You guys should leave a comment about Makar learning Self-Destruct. Nevertheless, we're unfortunately going to have to pass on it for now, even though it'd be really funny to throw it on there. But it's not for today, folks. Either way, one of these girls has a Jolteon and one has an Umbreon. I think this is an Umbreon and I think this is a Jolteon. And so I'm gonna hope, and I'm really hoping this girl has a Jolteon because I want to use Makar to face it. But if that's not the case, we'll switch out to Malk and hope for the best. And she's got a Jolteon, so that's fantastic. Exactly what I wanted it to be, and hopefully we can deal with it rather nicely. It throws a Sand Attack in my face, but hopefully we can work through Confusion Hacks, or Mishacks. We roll a Magnitude 5, which isn't the best, and she's probably going to get a second Sand Attack off, but one more Magnitude should be able to take it out, and hopefully we can hit through this hacks as well. We land Magnitude 9, which would have been great to have in the first place, but nevertheless, we still hit through the hacks and it works out anyways, so Makar also gains an extra level, so it's definitely a plus on that end. And we cleanly deal with three of the Kimono Girls already. So just before this episode ends, though, I think we're going to finish off at least one more of them, and I want to use who was it? Malk. Oh shoot, Malk is at level 23. That's not good. Okay, so he has 1350 experience, at least as a safety net here. So I feel content to face this girl. I think this one definitely has an Umbreon. I'm certain that the one to the left has the Espeon, which it does, and that works out perfectly for this episode. So, like I said, I'm going to save Espeon for a little bit later. Hopefully we can finish off this Umbreon with one double kick. That'd be great. I guess not. It's going to be a 2-hit KO with double kick, and Umbreon wants to tail whip me, which is perfectly fine. I can finish it off with one more double kick. So Malk gains a decent chunk of experience, half of the levels. So it's kind of getting dangerously close to the amount of experience I'm throwing on him there. But you guys are going to have to wait for me to face Espeon until next part, because I'm going to still have to do a little bit more grinding before I'm ready to face that thing. It's pretty powerful, even just at level 17, and for that reason alone, I still need to do a little bit more preparing. So hopefully next episode, we'll get a bit more grinding done, finish off the next rival fight, maybe take on the gym, maybe take on the final Kimono Girl, and hopefully if I get all that done, we'll at least have accomplished quite a bit of stuff in this in that episode. Overall, I feel that we did make a little bit of progress, though, in this part at least, and so I'm very thankful to have gained those extra levels, used up Bellsprout's PP, and finished off 4 of the Kimono Girls. So we definitely made a lot of progress, and just like I said, leave me a comment about what you thought of the dual narration. I feel like it went really well. You guys can give me your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next part. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.